We have breaking news here on NBA Today as the Robert Sarver situation and fallout continues to unfold. According to our Baxter Holmes, who is joining us now, the Suns have named Sam Garvin as the interim governor. Sam Garvin. So can you tell us a little bit more about who Mr. Garvin is?
Yeah, so Sam Garvin, alternate governor, been with the team since 2004, the year that Robert Sarver led a group to buy the Suns. I believe, I was just reading his bio right before we were coming on, that he was also an interim governor, I want to say around 2007. But Zach Lowe and I reported this, and this was effective as of last night. Adam Silver authorized it. So Sam Garvin is going to be the interim governor during Robert Sarver's one-year suspension. He also he supported Robert Sarver in the statement that he released, or that the team released in November 5th, right after our initial story. There was a list of co-owners who backed him, who supported him, and Sam Garvin was one of those.
Sam Garvin was on that list. That's very, very interesting. Thank you so much, Baxter. You mentioned Adam Silver has already said that this is okay, has said that he can push this through, and this is already effective. Baxter, I do want to play a bite from what Adam Silver said at the press conference that he held yesterday that really sent shockwaves throughout the Suns organization.
In terms of future behavior, there's no question he's on notice. He knows that. And I also think, though, if you look at the chronology of the report, is that most of this activity goes back most of the inappropriate activity goes back many years. I would say the Suns' workplace is a very different environment today, even at the beginning of this investigation, than it was years ago. I don't think there's any dispute over that.
I mentioned that those comments in particular have reverberated around the Suns organization. What have you been hearing? Yeah,
the concept that these things were, in the past, that many of them were in the past, definitely struck a very powerful chord. I want to read a quote from a current staffer. The sad thing is, much of the discussion acts as if these were long ago historical events and that things have been cleaned up. My coworkers are so infuriated that this is the perception. The commissioner has this very wrong. This was from a current staffer. I've heard from former staffers, from others throughout the organization. Also, I want to point out, earlier this summer, in May, a longtime female staffer resigned from the team, citing retaliation after reporting concerns about a toxic and misogynistic culture. Sent an email to the ownership, or to members of the ownership group, including Robert Sarver. So I want to say that people there are feeling as if this is being framed as a lot of long ago things, and that there's a lot of very angry people because of the way that Adam Silver framed that.
And you're saying that was May of 2022.
Just a few months ago.
That's very interesting. I want to bring back a couple of tweets that we shared earlier from players, notable players, weighing in on this for the first time. Chris Paul tweeted, quote, "Like many others, I reviewed the report. I was and am horrified and disappointed by what I read. This conduct, especially toward women, is unacceptable. It must never be repeated. And I am of the view that the sanctions fell short in truly addressing what we can all agree was atrocious behavior. My heart goes out to all of the people that were affected." And then LeBron, I read through the Sarver stories a few times now. "I've got to be honest, our league definitely got this wrong. I don't need to explain why. Y'all read the stories and decide for yourself. I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. There is no place in this league for that kind of behavior. I love this league. I deeply respect our leadership, but this isn't right. There is no place for misogyny, sexism, and racism at any workplace. It doesn't matter if you own the team or play for the team. We have to hold our league up as an example of our values, and this ain't it." So I wonder, Baxter, how much of an impact can these players speaking up here have on what happens next to Robert Sarver?
I will say this, people inside the organization, after the league's decision, were hoping that players could speak up and that there would be some kind of power, because everyone knows how much power players' voices have, and we've seen that for so long. So they were waiting for that. I will say, I reported on the show yesterday, concern internally about what the NBA's report and their findings would have with respect to business, team sponsors, business sponsors. I can report today that that has intensified in the wake of LeBron James and Chris Paul's tweets. There's higher concern about potentially losing business, given what has been tweeted, what those guys tweeted yesterday. And look, we know money drives everything in virtually every business. So you asked what kind of impact that can have. I think if we start to see money being impacted, who knows where it can lead from there.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.